Greetings, hello, and welcome back to the channel and to a little bit of a channel update that I wanted to give here with the end of the Modjam campaign. I wanted to quickly just talk a little bit about that campaign, about what's next, and what other stuff's happening. In the background, I have a sped up version of a mission from the last streamed Modjam stream, just a somewhat interesting mission that had a few ups and downs. So I just thought I throw that up in the background, just so that I'm not just talking to a static image. Anyway, so the Modjam campaign is over, and I already said a little bit at the outro of the campaign, and long story short is basically I had a lot of fun with Modjam. I think there's still a lot of potential, a lot of things to discover, a lot of specs to test out with the various classes. So certainly something I want to revisit, even though I'm currently, as can be seen in the background, playing a separate campaign on my Twitch streams. But I probably also want to bring it back to YouTube at some point. It's still pretty much in development. There's still things to be added. Some systems will be changed there. And since the base Long War of the Chosen is pretty much finished at this point, so it's no longer being worked on by the developers, Modjam is probably that thing where you have to look to in case you're interested in any sort of upgrades, new stuff, whatever you wanna see there. That being said, for the next campaign on YouTube, I want to do something not Modjam. I want to do something base Long War of the Chosen. So first of all, one reason is that Long War of the Chosen was released on Steam fully in the final version at the end of December, and I haven't played it pretty much since then, outside of another streamed campaign with Illogical, where we were like over-explaining every little detail, trying to do a bit of an educational campaign there. So I want to do something on YouTube just so that there's also like kind of a resource available for people who are interested in Long War of the Chosen. So it's gonna be a little bit more tutorially explanation style, but not fully. That's for sure. The other thing is, I had some ideas of how I want to approach this campaign. So most importantly, I wanted to probably do a psionic rush. So a bit of an unusual start, trying to go to psionics really early and relying on lots of psionic soldiers for the majority of the campaign. I tried something similar before on the stream, but kind of tapered off in the end. So I started with lots of psionics and then kind of stopped using them. More or less halfway through the campaign, and this time I want to commit to that. I also want to play around a little bit with a few skills and specs that I may have not used. Not really the super bad talents, what I also tried in the stream campaign, but more like getting a little bit more variety, right? So that's the general idea. I want to start this, ideally, well, probably recording it on Saturday or Sunday, so the first episode might be Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday, depending on how quickly I get everything sorted out. So relative short term, so I might be a few days without any videos on YouTube, but that's kind of normal between campaigns. That also means going fully vanilla, like no gameplay changing mods, etc. Just the necessary stuff for Long War of the Chosen and the usual cosmetics, voice packs, and everything else. Yeah, so that's gonna be the plan there. Meanwhile, based on this campaign you see in the background, this is the Twitch campaign. So I play this usually Mondays and Saturdays in the evening hours, European time. This is a Long War of the Chosen campaign with Modjam, with playable aliens also in there, and some additional classes. And the stated goal of that campaign is doing a global liberation, so liberate all the regions on the world map campaign, which is, it's going. it could go a little bit faster, but every little success counts. So yeah, that's happening, and also usually stream on Thursdays. In the past, I've always done something with Illogical, like the LWotC campaign. We did a co-op stream campaign, played some non-XCOM games. So there's also, hopefully, had a little bit of a hiatus, no co-op stream in the last month or so, but we want to return to that and do a little bit more of that. So we'll see what exactly that's going to be. Right. Other than that, let me just quickly think. There's not much else really to say. Again, it's a very brief, very short channel update. So those are the plans. I saw already at the on the final episode there were a few comments about suggestions for other things, but it's really a matter of, I had this idea of doing a vanilla Cyrush campaign for Long War of the Chosen for a long time, and that's kind of already, that's been decided weeks ago already that I was going to do that. So but yeah, still open to other ideas. I talked a little bit about my, I want to say a little bit distaste for vanilla XCOM 2 combat. Basically the last covert infiltration campaign left a little bit of a bad taste, not because of covert infiltration. Covert infiltration is amazing, it's great, but more like just vanilla mechanics, like the so-called line of play mechanic, which determines how the enemies move while you are concealed, etc. And that's, I tired a little bit out on that, so that's why I'm kind of staying with Long War at the moment and not going back to vanilla. I'm not completely ruling it out, but at the moment I'm just having much more fun with this kind of combat here that you see and that I enjoy. That's more focused on smaller groups and smaller enemies and challenging stuff instead of just shoving tons of enemies down your throat. Anyway, other than that, maybe a quick note on a more personal level. And that's something that might be happening in the next 3 or 4 months. As I've mentioned a few times, so I'm not, YouTube and Twitch is not like my primary thing. I do have a regular job where I slave away my 40 hours a week, where I've also been working from home for the last, well, soon to be 2.5 years or so. And that might be coming to an end, that where our client wants us to return to the office, and that really will cut down on my free time. So I'm kind of hesitant a little bit how that will affect everything here, and whether or not I won't take that as an opportunity to find something else at that point, or maybe try and see if I can turn this YouTube and Twitch thing into a full-time thing. But that's a little bit far away from that to make that really viable. We'll see. There's a lot of decisions waiting to be made, and something I'll spend a lot of time thinking about at the moment. So I keep it away from the channel. I don't think it will affect anything unless I also take this opportunity to move back to Germany from Ireland, where I'm currently living. So maybe change is coming. I'll let you know in future updates. Anyway, enough talk here. Yeah, new campaign starting in a few days. Hope I'll see you then. Also, if you're one of the 50% of people who watch my videos and are not subscribed, hit that button. I don't really do a subscribe reminder in every episode because I feel that's annoying, but this is the one time where I do one. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time. And thanks for being awesome. And yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.